William arrived at the supply store in Knoll, the community next to Minasville, looking for the store's owner, Osmond O'Brien. William nodded politely to Austin, one of Osmond's sons, who was standing in the doorway of the store. Word had been received that Osmond wanted to meet with William. The two men were well acquainted, as William often skippered Osmond's vessels. Although still in his 30s, William had traveled to ports throughout the world. He had a reputation for speed. He raced horses and pushed his crews to set speed records on ocean voyages. Earlier that year, blown by the trade winds of March, William had sailed one of Osmond's barks called the Piscataqua from Montevideo, Uruguay, to Boston in record time, 45 days. Osmond, 20 years older than William, ran a family firm known as Osmond O'Brien and Company. He was assisted by his sons. Osmond had founded the firm in 1856, and the firm prospered. It was reputed to be one of the most enterprising firms in the county and one of the wealthiest. William found Osmond among a small group that were standing beneath the bow of a mammoth vessel created in the O'Brien shipyard. The two men initially made small talk, with Osmond ribbing William about past sailing adventures. Osmond reminded William of the summer past, when he had grounded the Piscataqua, weighted down with coal on a reef not far from Pictou. 2 tugs were required, but their efforts were resisted until the skipper had given the order to dump the cargo, Osmond's cargo. Moving on to the business of the day, Osmond turned his attention to the behemoths vessel behind him. The vessel was a bark called the Amanda, and it was the largest ever built at the shipyard, stretching 184 feet. The Amanda needed a skipper for its maiden voyage to the Mediterranean. Osmond offered the position to the skipper. His offer was accepted. On launch day, the skipper was at the helm of the Amanda as it was eased into the Knoll Creek, with much fanfare and pageantry. Important dignitaries gave speeches, as crowds of over 1,000 watched. William's first mate for the maiden voyage was his cousin and close friend, Joe Blois. The blue-rimmed flag that marked the O'Brien fleet was proudly unfurled from the center mast, while the Union Jack flew from the mast nearest the stern. The vessel readied itself for Mediterranean seas. In the years following the launch, only one ship's portrait, a portrait of the Amanda, hung in the skipper's home. The skipper had commissioned the painting from the famed Italian painter Anthony Luzzo in 1883, and it hung in the skipper's dining room for 46 years, a daily reminder of successful voyages past.